My name is Jamal Osman. I am the council member of Ward 6, someone who represents the largest East African community in Minneapolis. I am proud to say I'm a Somali American. This country welcomed me and my family 26 years ago. It has provided me a life that I did not have in Somalia. We came here and we are thankful to be here. I've been educated here, got the opportunity to serve my community, to be a council member. I know many families are fearful tonight. They are. But I want you to know that City of Minneapolis stand behind you as the leaders, both mayors and the chief and everyone that's standing behind you are here to stand with you. Our community has lived through fear in the past. And we're not going to let us divide that.
And I can go down the list. Why has he focused on mass migration? It's very simple, because no country is safe if you can just walk in without us knowing who you are into your country. We've seen the destruction that that's wreaking, not just in our own country, but the impact that it's having in Europe and in many other parts of the world.
We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
What's going on, everyone? It's Talks with Keenan here today. We're going to be going over mass migration yet again. As you saw from the intro, Minneapolis has been responding to a lot of what Trump has done in reaction to the fraud case that broke out, the scandal that broke out, implicating that Tim Walz may have had knowledge of these happenings that was going on with this scandal and chose to do nothing, and in fact may have done retaliatory actions. The Minneapolis DAS also said that they notified Kamala Harris about Tim Walz's incompetence, and she said nothing. She did nothing. And time again, the Democratic Party is showing you that they're the party of migrants, because in a way, these migrants, as you saw from the intro, those Somalian migrants in Michigan, they're their true constituents, because they use these people as a way to dilute the influence that native-born Americans have. And I want to kind of go to this video here to highlight how out of touch the Democrats are. Madami says deporting criminal aliens does not serve the interest of public safety. Make it make sense. You're giving double standards. If an American was committing these crimes, you would not protect them from the law. If an American citizen have committed federal crimes, you would not protect them from federal agents. But for illegals, you're doing this. Same criminals. One is just undocumented. One is just from a foreign land. And you're protecting them. Why? Why? And you're saying that it's not in the public interest? Make it make sense. It's not in public safety? Make it make sense. Democrats day and night want to cry and complain. As you saw from the intro, Trump called Ilhan Omar garbage. And I think the sentiment that he's expressing there, and I know liberals are going to take this as they want to, but this is what makes conservatives' heart go cold. Like, we don't care. We care. We care you help the country be better. We don't care about you complaining about the country. You have all these demands, but you ain't doing nothing to fix it. Instead, all we see is you running a hustle with the Democrats being the biggest enabler, an enabling force to your hustle. That's what we see. We see we see you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing going on in Michigan, going on in Minneapolis, where like, hey, you vote for Democrats and we turn a blind eye to your mess, allegedly. And Democrats want to cry and complain about affordability when some of the policies that they advocate for, like open borders, help contribute to the affordability crisis that Americans are facing today. You don't believe me? I'm going to show you some clips to highlight this as an example. Because before when I was doing research for this video, I found a clip of an American finding out an entire business closed down because out of 256 employees that worked at the business, 95% of them were illegals. Only 6 employees were legal employees. Make that make sense. And this is the kind of incentives, this is kind of environment that mass immigration creates and sets up. And liberals will argue with me in the comment section about how, oh, we're not using illegals as a political pawn. Like hell you are. And them being in this country has caused negative ramifications to America affordability.
Do you think that illegal immigrants should get free health care?
No, I think illegal immigrants should get a free flight home. I think they should be sent home immediately because here's the thing. You cannot be an American if your first act was breaking America's laws by coming into this country illegally. No free health care for illegals, no free school for illegals, no free Obama phone for the illegals. The illegals, I would only give them one free thing. I say it with sincerity. They get a free coach ticket flight home. And once they can go home, guess what? They can make their countries great again. I say this to everybody, whether they're in Colombia or in Venezuela or in Haiti or in Europe. Don't come here. The brave thing to do is not to break into our country and take our taxpayer benefits. The brave thing to do is stay in your country, make your country great. We're trying to make our country great. And so as far as I'm concerned, we are full. We are full to anybody who wants to come to our country. We have room for job takers and job makers. And if you're a job taker, if you're going to take a job, take benefits, take hospital, take health care, get out of our country right now.
Yeah, this is nuts. America is witnessing the biggest classroom attendance shift in modern history as enrollment from illegally present families plummets, instantly easing overcrowding and saving taxpayers billions of dollars, seemingly and shockingly overnight. Districts from Florida to Colorado to Massachusetts are all reporting the steepest declines in newcomer students in more than a decade, directly tied to stricter citizenship enforcement and voluntary departures under the current administration's policies. Miami-Dade saw enrollment from newly arrived families plunge from 14,000 to just 2,500, relieving an estimated $70 million in budgetary pressure. Denver dropped from 1,500 to 400, while Chelsea, Massachusetts fell from roughly 600 to 100. With Chelsea Mecklenburg reporting 20,000 missing students. Higher education is also seeing the same shift, with a 17% drop in foreign student enrollment as universities refocus on American applicants. Analysts say that fewer illegal crossings and tougher border controls are reshaping school populations, cutting overcrowding and stabilizing classrooms, even as some districts lose state funding tied to headcounts. Because for years, U.S. taxpayers have spent roughly $60 billion annually educating illegally present individuals.
As you saw from the video, wow. Miami-Dade went from 14 new immigrant kids to just 2,500. Wow, billions in tax savings or a hit to diversity. This video breaks it down for you, as you saw from the intro, or you saw from the segment. And I think this is very important to go and highlight the affordability that Democrats keep crying and complaining about. Oh, we don't have enough government resources. We don't have enough this. We don't have enough that. But you're having policies that is incentivizing overcrowding. You're allowing unrestricted migration into these communities, into these districts, into these school districts, right? I show you examples how corporations are trying to circumvent native-born Americans and try to get illegals to be the majority population because they can undercut wages with that, right? How is this in the public best interest? How is this in America's best interest to allow mass migrations? That's a question that Democrats can't answer. So this is why they pivot into, I showed you in the intro, of them trying to call Trump a racist, a xenophobe. Oh, he hates brown people. He hates this and that and the third. Because they can't get away from the reality of allowing migrants to just come into this country unrestricted with no limits. You can argue there's some benefit to migration, right? As the guy in the segment outlined it, and I'll take this line here. There's 2 types of migrants that come to this country. Job makers, job takers, right? And there's benefit takers as well. Those are the ones that we have to really watch out for. And most of the people that love to take benefits from our system, majority of them are illegals. As you saw from stats, if you look at any stat that tracks this, illegals, majority of them take some form of government assistance, government benefit when they're in this country, which they're not supposed to be in the first place. And that's the bad incentive that I talk about, that we're incentivizing these bad behaviors. if we do restrictor reform, we actually enforce our border policies, our border laws, the laws of our country, there's no way in hell they can get away with this. And you see the ramifications. You go from 14,000 people a year being enrolled in your school districts just down to 2,000, a more manageable degree. And somehow liberals and leftists are going to try to paint that as a bad thing, make that make sense. This is common sense. And this is what Americans are starting to notice. And this is why I'm saying that the more I highlight this, I think the more Americans are going to see it my way. They may not like the methods. They may not like the approach. But I think many Americans understand the necessity of that. Especially when you know the other side, the only reason they're crying and try to moralize and virtue signal off of this is that they benefit politically for allowing this stuff to happen. At your expense, America. At our safety expense. At our tax-paying money expense. Taking up space, taking up resources from American applicants, American kids, American students. Priorities. And I'm tired of this game that the left side, oh, you're being so divisive. I am being divisive. Americans and legal migrants versus everyone else. Democrats and illegals. And then some migrants that they still have dual allegiances. Like the guy in the intro, when he said he was a Somali American, I already tuned him out. You're an American or you're not. I'm at that point right now. Because I see the game. They're trying to wiggle. Oh, I'm from some. No, I don't care where you're from, bro. You're an American or you're not. There shouldn't be no such thing as a hyphenated American. No such thing. Because you're not supposed to have any foreign allegiances. You're not supposed to identify with any foreign nation. And you wonder why Gen Z is so radicalized from both sides, left and right. Because we're seeing ish like this, right? And all the left got to do, all the left, make it make sense. The left will bash you and say, oh, we got to follow law and order. They're gonna slam you on your principles, telling you to live up to your principles. But then when we try to enforce the law, they want to pull crap like this.
Will you ask why you're out here today?
We're out here today because there is an ICE raid, and New York City is doing the work of ICE, protecting ICE as they do illegal work to tear families apart in New York City. And as New Yorkers, we're not going to stand for that.
Is it illegal to enforce immigration law?
Okay, we're not.
Oh, okay, please don't touch the microphone.
Okay, well, who are you?
I'm a reporter. We have the right to enforce our immigration law?
You're such a f***ing dork. You're such a dork.
You guys aren't very articulate. What do you think about...
He asked you a question, answer it. Is he a criminal?
Relax a little bit.
No, I'm not going to relax.
Why are you out here today?
To protest.
Hey, I asked you a question.
I'm here for, I don't know, it's a nice day, beautiful neighborhood. How about yourself?
We're out here talking to protesters.
Oh, yeah? How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
A little cold.
Yeah.
Do you think the United States has the right to enforce its immigration law?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah.
So why is that not what's happening here, in your opinion?
Yeah. You are such a joke.
Can you articulate your position, or no?
All bark, no arguments. Not able to articulate a single point. Do U.S. have the right to enforce its immigration law? It does. Okay, what is not? Did the person come in illegally or not? I don't care about your sob story. I don't care about your sympathy. I don't care about all this emotional BS. The law is the law. I stole food. I stole from this millionaire so I can feed my starving children. Does that justify the right for me to rob this man of his money, his hard-earned money? No. Doesn't matter the reason for why I robbed this man. I robbed this man. I got to go to jail. Okay, you crossed the border illegally. You got to go back home. Like, what's so inhumane about this? And this is the argument. This is the argument that the left has. That's the best they got. They can try to rationalize this, but they'll rationalize themselves in a corner. This is why they have to appeal to emotion. This is why they have to go label you a bad guy. Because they got no argument. And then they want to complain about affordability when open borders, mass migration, some ways contributes to the affordability crisis that we're dealing with. Housing pricing, right? You increase demand by bringing in what? More people. I just showed you what happened in the education system in Miami-Dade. But, you know, Democrats can't tie in how their policies is incentivizing bad outcomes for the American people, and then you're attributing it to things that have nothing to do with the actual effect. That's the Democratic Party for you. And right here in this video, I think JD Vance is going to articulate the main point I was trying to highlight in my video so far about how illegals, or specifically how mass migration, contributes to affordability, the affordability issues that we're seeing currently in our economy. But without further ado, let's get into the clip.
I just want to pick up on something you said, Mr. President, because you hit the nail on the head, that it is absurd that Democrats talk about an affordability crisis that they created and the people around this table work every single day to address. You'll hear a lot of statistics today. You hear a lot of statistics in our political conversation. I think the most important statistic for the American people is that under the Biden administration, the average American family lost over $3,000 of household income. And under the first 10 months of this Trump administration, they have gained over $1,000 of household income. What that says very clearly is that we are fixing the problem that Joe Biden and the Democrats created in the last.
And then the Democrats' argument here is that Trump is not fixing it fast enough, right? They're trying to, get Americans to be more impatient, so that way they get a favorable result in 2026. And I think that's the most important thing, that I like the fact that the Trump administration and them are trying to focus back on the issues here. He did his wins. He got his victories in foreign policy all around the world, Middle East, yada, 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 trade tariffs, all that stuff, all that jazz. Now he's dealing with the stuff that matters most right here at home. That's why the crime thing was perfect pivot. Sure, it's a nice to have in my estimation in certain parts of the country, right? People are seeing the gas prices. In Oklahoma, gas was damn near $2. People were shocked. Guy put it on video. It's going viral right now about the gas prices. The media don't want to highlight that stuff. And it goes back to my video that I made before about the dishonest framing of the liberal left, how liberal bias is destroying and hurting the knowledge distribution in our country, in our nation, in the world, on our airwaves, social media algorithms, because they don't want to cover anything positive about a Republican president when it's the most liberal profession in the world, journalism. So how is it, as an American, I'm supposed to trust an institution that is considered the most liberal profession in the world to cover a Republican president objectively? You can't. You can't. So this is why people go online. This is why people rather trust the internet more than the TV. Because in the TV, it's filled with biased people who don't have no process to check their own bias, and instead filter all the events, all the narratives through a negative lens to get you to come away with a bad impression, a bad negative view of what's going on with the economy, right? Republicans, they understand, hey, there's some challenges with the Republicans, with the economy currently, but Trump's is trying to do something about it. But Trump's not going to fix it in 11 months. It's going to take some time. But this is the Democrats' angle. They're trying to make you feel impatient. Trump's been only in office, what, 11 months now? It took Joe Biden 2 years, at least a year, to flub all this up. You got to give Trump at least 2 to fix it. And this is the bet that Democrats are trying to make. But, I think JD Vance and Donald Trump are trying to make a good attempt at pushing back at this narrative that the Democrats are trying to get American people impatient about the results. But I digress. Let's continue with the video.
Administration. If you look at every affordability crisis that's confronting the American people today, it is traceable directly to a problem caused by Joe Biden and congressional Democrats. Why did homes get so unaffordable? Because we had 20 million illegal aliens in this country taking homes that ought by right to go to American citizens. Why did tax bills get so unaffordable? Because Democrats were raising taxes while congressional Republicans under the president's leadership, we're now cutting taxes. Why did food get so expensive? Because we printed trillions of dollars and threw it into green scams that made our agricultural economy suffer while Americans were paying higher prices for food. On every single one of those issues, Mr. President, I think we've made incredible progress. But it would be preposterous to fix every problem caused over the last 4 years in just 10 months.
And that's the argument. That's a beautiful case, beautifully said. and that's something I reiterate here constantly on this channel, is that the Democrats, their angle now is to try to make American people impatient, right? And the biggest example I have of this, how like mass migration contributes to increased costs, is Chicago. Chicago is the perfect example of what happened. The residents saw the safety concerns that happened with the mass migration, right? There was about to be a gang war with Tende de Agua in Chicago, and the residents were scared, right? They was trying to get Brandon Johnson to put onto a vote on a resolution of removing Chicago as a sanctuary city, and Brandon Johnson didn't want to hold the votes because he knew the people, the American people that lived in Chicago, was going to vote against it to remove their designation as a sanctuary city. Brandon Johnson, because of the mass migration, he wasn't planning to have those people in there, but he still take them in anyway, right? Because he has to live by his principles of being a sanctuary city. It grew Chicago's population numbers, but at what cost? $940 million. Shortfall, budget shortfall in Chicago because of mass migration. Moving kids out of their schools, out of their public schools, to house these these migrants in the city of Chicago. Taking up rec centers where kids play their sports to stay off the streets, kicking them out to put these people to house these people. Democrats show you who their priority was. In New York, putting them up in hotels, subsidizing hotels, paying hotels good money to house illegals. And you want to put the blame, you want to pretend that all of a sudden it became all of a sudden unaffordable because of Donald Trump. When gas prices are low, has been as low as it ever been since Trump came into office last time. The receipts are out there. People, it's documented. Oklahoma, people are shocked. What? You got gas under $2? Diesel sub 30? Sub $3? What? Ain't no way. Liberals mad. Because you can't spin a narrative on reality. Reality doesn't conform to liberal perception. And this is the problem with the mainstream media. And this is one of the number one reasons I have a problem. I have a bone to pick with liberal media. Because they literally believe that they can warp people's perception of reality. That's the game. But reality has another thing coming for the liberal perception. Because no matter how much of a liberal perception they have, no matter how much they try to spin this in a negative way or try to get you to see it their way, reality is telling us a different story. That they don't got the answers. They don't got a solution to the problems that they're complaining about. And that's the point of me making this video.
I think that we've done incredibly good. But what I see over the next year, and you heard Brooke talk about joy and gratitude. What I really think this season represents for me, and I think for the entire administration, is that we have now done incredible work to fix what Joe Biden broke. And I think that next year, in American growth and American prosperity, could be the best year that we've had in the United States of America. It's going to happen because we're all working hard. It's going to happen because we have the greatest country in the world. But I think for congressional Democrats in particular, if they want to talk about affordability, they ought to look in the mirror. We are fixing what they're broken. We're proud to do it. It's the job that we were elected to do. But I think 2026 is going to be the year where this economy really takes off.
Hey, and that's the bet. That's the bet that Donald Trump and his administration is making. And that's the bet, honestly, that I'm making on this channel. I already see some trends. The gas pricing, it's a start. Doing something about crime, it's a start. And Trump is trying to show you, hey, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for the American people. Here's how I'm tackling the problem. Here's the results I'm giving you. The only way Democrats can win is they have to show that they can do a better job right now if they've been given power. And so far, in my estimation, Democrats have shown no alternative whatsoever. The only thing that Democrats have shown is that at every turn, they will resist Trump. At every turn, they will fight Trump, regardless of what he's doing. Trump can say, hey, I want to make America healthy again. They'll fight him. Instead of offering a better alternative, they'll just fight him. So Democrats offer Americans nothing. And this is why I always plead in 2026, America, don't give any Democrats any more power. Please. Giving Democrats more power is like putting an umbrella through the wheels of your bicycle as you're trying to go forward. You're going to fall. That's my plea to America. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts and perspective in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? My perception? Do you agree with the angle and pretty much Trump disparaging Ilhan Omar? Do you think it was warranted, unwarranted? I'd like to hear your thoughts and perspective in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please share this video. If you feel so inclined, it really does help me out in the algorithm. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.